everybody, I'm Alex Gum. Welcome to another Pokemon Go video. We have some big boys that are going to be appearing in Max Battles in the next couple of weekends. We have Gigantamax Lapras Max Battle Day, and then the following weekend is a Max Battle weekend that will debut Dynamax Latias and Dynamax Latios. Not only we have details for both of these events, we are going to cover some Max Battle guides on how to take them down and which Pokemon you should use offensively and defensively. So before we get started, subscribe, hit the bell, and let us know in the comments below your thoughts about these events. And without further ado, let's dive in to the details. Gigantamax Lapras Max Battle Day is going to be on Saturday, July 19th from 2 to 5 p.m. local time. It will return to Max Battles for the first time in a long time, and if you're lucky, you may get a shiny Gigantamax Lapras. Now, this is going to be more accessible for a lot of traders because 1, you can remote raid, and 2, you guys probably went for a lot of different Dynamax and Gigantamax Pokemon that are super strong and bulky against this Pokemon. So we'll go over that after we talk about details, but let's just say that it's going to be a little bit easier to take down. Bonuses include 20 remote raid limits for Friday, July 18th at 5 p.m. to Saturday, July 19th at 8 p.m. local time. That gives you 40 remote raids and attempts to get a shiny Gigantamax Lapras. We're definitely grinding because I want that shiny. Max Particle Collection limit increases to 1,600. 1/4 adventure distance to receive Max Particles. 2 times Max Particles from exploring. You get Power Spots that will refresh more frequently, so like every half hour. Then you get 8 times Max Particles from Power Spots. That's a total of 800 Max Particles. That's the amount for the requirement to enter into a Gigantamax battle. And finally, 2 special trades. There will be a free time research that trainers can get starting on Monday, July 14th. If trainers complete the time research, you get some rewards, including an encounter with Dynamax Passimian, which is a fighting type. And finally, trainers have the option to buy $5 for an event ticket to maximize the full experience. If trainers do select this ticket for $5, they get the following rewards, which is 1 Max Mushroom and 25,000 XP. The Max Mushroom is a very valuable item that can boost attack for both yourself and for other trainers in your party. And you'll also receive bonuses including 2 times XP for Max Battles, and Max Particle Collection limit will increase from 1,600 to 5,600. So if you're planning on doing a ton of Gigantamax Lapras battles, my recommendation is buying the ticket because the more Max Particles you get, the more you get to participate. And before we talk about the next Max Battle event, we're going to talk about how to take down Gigantamax Lapras. Remember, the trainer limit is 40, so if you can get a lot of trainers and some invites in, it could be easy. However, you also need to power up your Dynamax and Gigantamax Pokemon, and you need a good variety of those that are good offensively and defensively. So once again, let's go over details. Gigantamax Lapras is a water ice type attacker, so you're gonna need some Pokemon that have electric, fighting grass, and rock type moves. And we're gonna go over which Pokemon are good offensively. Stat wise, the max CP is 2985, attack is 165, defense is 174, and stamina is 277. This Pokemon is going to be extremely bulky, so again, you're going to need some hard hitters. The 100% IV is 1509 for the Max Battles. It would be weather boosted, but again, we haven't seen any Max Battles weather boosted, so 1509 is the number you should focus on for the hundo. Fast attacks that Gigantamax Lapras can learn are Ice Shard, Frost Breath, Water Gun, and Psywave. And this thing has like so many attacks in the charge attack category, so just pray when you're about to get striked. You have Ice Beam, Blizzard, which is going to be bad if you have a grass type. You also have Dragon Pulse, Hydro Bump, and Surf, again aware with rock types, Skull Bash, and Sparkling Aria. If you have a Lapras with an Ice Beam, it can learn Gmax Resonance. In terms of offensive Pokemon, we have Gigantamax Rillaboom as the #1 pick with Gmax Drum Solo. You also have Gigantamax Machamp as the #1 fighting type attacker with Gmax G-Strike. Then we have Gigantamax Toxtricity as the best electric type Pokemon with Gmax Stun Shock. The offensive Pokemon Crown Sword Zacian with Behemoth Blade. It also is a steel type, so that's also good defensively. And then you have Gigantamax Venusaur with Gmax Vine Lash. In terms of defense, we have Blissey and Chansey with Pound, We also have Lapras with Psywave, Gigantamax Lapras with Water Gun. If you had a Gigantamax Lapras in the past, this is a good one to use defensively. Also, Crown Sword Zacian and Crown Sword Zamazenta, although they don't have the ability to Dynamax, they are able to be in Dynamax battles, and they're both good offensively and defensively. However, I would recommend the Zamazenta one because not only it's a fighting type, it is also very defensive, and it has a special bonus if you max it out, Max Guard. Then we have Dynamax Latios and Dynamax Latios Max Battle Weekend. This is going to be on Saturday, July 26th at 6 a.m. all the way through Sunday, July 27th at 9 p.m. local time. So it's literally all weekend long. The best thing about this is that both these Pokemon are in Tier 5 Dynamax battles, meaning that it requires up to 4 trainers. Although it requires less trainers, that doesn't mean you should just pull out your Scorbunnies and your Squovettes and your Hatinas. You gotta evolve and power up, okay? Because, it's about offense and defense. You cannot battle the minimum. You gotta battle the maximum. That's why they're called max battles. Bonuses will include max particle collection limit increase to 1600, 1/4 adventuring distance to receive max particles, power spots will refresh more frequently, and 8 times max particles from power spots. There is another bonus from Monday, July 21st through Sunday, July 27th, and that's 3/4 max particle cost for unlocking and powering up max moves, so that'll require less particles to power up a max move. There is also a free time research where you can complete some tasks to get some rewards, including an encounter with Dynamax Ghastly. And Ghastly is a ghost type, which is strong against Pokemon like Psychic type Pokemon, Latios and Latias, although I recommend evolving it into Dynamax Gengar, because who's going to use a Ghastly? In terms of using offensive and defensive Pokemon, these two are pretty identical because the typing is the same. Literally the only difference between Dynamax Latios and Dynamax Latias are the stats and the movesets. So in general, Dynamax Latios and Dynamax Latias are both going to be weak against Bug, Dark, Dragon, Fairy, Ghost, and Ice type moves. So that kind of gives you a good big variety of what's available as Dynamax and Gigantamax Pokemon to take down these giants. For Dynamax Latios, the CP is going to be maxed out to 4310, the attack is 268, the defense is 212, and the stamina is 190. When we're talking about Latias, the stats are going to be a little bit lower. Max CP is 3968, the attack is 228, defense is 246. Okay, so maybe it's more defensive than Latios, but the stamina is the same, which is 190. Latios' fast attacks include Dragon Breath and Zen Headbutt, and it does have charge attacks, which are Dragon Claw, Psychic, Solar Beam, and Luster Purge. For Dynamax Latias, it's going to have the fast attacks Dragon Breath, Zen Headbutt, and Charm, and the charge attacks Thunder, Psychic, Outrage, and Mist Ball. Now, both these Pokemon are going to be weak against the exact same bosses, both offensively and defensively. We have the best attackers. The number 1 is Gigantamax Gengar with G-Max Terror. Then the best one is Crown Sword Zacian with Behemoth Blade. Not only is a Steel type, it is also a Fairy type. Then we have Dynamax Gengar with Max Phantom. We also have this Single Strike style Urshifu with Max Darkness. And right now, the only best Fairy type that can Dynamax is Hatterene with Max Starfall. And then counters defensively, we have Blissey and Chansey with Pound. We also have Crown Sword Zacian and Crown Shield Zamazenta with Behemoth Blade and Behemoth Flash, but you just use Metal Claw. I recommend using Zamazenta more defensively because it literally has a shield. Metagross is a good pick. You could also use Urshifu Single Style Strike. Another good one defensively is Gigantamax Lapras, which is the weekend before. So that's another good option. So folks, I hope that these are very helpful and informational, and I hope you guys put down your calendars and also get those remote raids ready, because these Dynamax and Gigantamax beasts are coming those weekends, and you better be ready. Let us know in the comments below if this was helpful. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you next time. Peace out.